Does your mom know you're watching this show? Okay, I think we're live everywhere. Welcome everyone to the Friday Night BS show. And as everyone knows that has watched the show, this podcast is rated R and is intended for mature audiences only. So if you're watching the show and you're underage, I don't know. Get your parents to sit down with you. Maybe you'll learn something. Maybe you'll learn something. I doubt it. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Yeah, look at these. I am the meat in the sandwich today.
You've always talked about this, Johnny.
I am the luckiest guy on YouTube right now. I'm just kidding. We got a great show. We're going to discuss real quick about what we talked about last week because we had some audio issues and an app issue with StreamYard, but they got it fixed. So I think it was something to do with the new setup on the Facebook side and getting me to authorize to be on the page. But we're going to recap that. We got a new trend that's hitting the workplaces here. Quiet quitting. Hilarious, just hilarious. We're going to talk about that. Ways to protect yourself from online catfish. We always bring this topic back up because I think some things have changed that you need to look into before you commit yourself to dating another dude if you're a dude. Or a lady, a female ending up thinking she's going out with a guy that's 25 and he's, I don't know, 75, 80. I don't know. Do you think an 80-year-old guy would be out there catfishing somebody?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm sure
There's
it's out
there
there.
in I think with the women, it's more so
Well, men get caught more. Men
they don't
yeah.
get caught more. They get sucked in more.
Yeah, they get sucked in.
Catfishing is something that's both, victims are both male and female. It's just the males tend to be a higher percentage,
Yeah,
and the
we see
females,
boobies. We see boobies. We get excited.
even if they're not necessarily attached to a woman,
Yeah.
but women also are victims. They're victims of being taken advantage of financially, all kinds of stuff. So it's the same on both sides. I sent you that wonderful, wonderful bit of data that I pulled up.
We'll dig into that. And then the last topic for us guys out there, your libido, 10 natural tips. So if you don't want to, be embarrassed by ordering, Viagra or Cialis.
Nobody's embarrassed about ordering that stuff anymore.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. There's still some guys out there. It's not maybe embarrassed, but maybe there's still a process that you have to follow, before taking it. You have to get your heart checked. There's a lot of things that are involved. You just can't go get this pill without at least having some sort of a physical done. If you're smart,
you go and get your regular physical, and you tell your doctor, and they give you a prescription. Now, people who use it recreationally.
Yeah, there are people that use it, but yeah, you shouldn't be, because if you might have some sort of complications and you don't know about, and you start taking this pill, it could cause some trouble. You could have a heart attack from this pill, guys. And then, of course, who wants to walk around with a 4-hour erection? So come on,
some do.
I don't know. I don't know.
Just
not
tuck
me.
it into your little.
Not me. Not me. Yeah, when I'm done, I'm done. I don't want false advertisement like I'm still ready to go. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Whoa.
When you're tired, you're tired. But that
then just go to sleep. It doesn't mean she can't use you as a human fucking pole.
No. I don't want that. Who wants that? I don't want that. I want to I want to participate. I'm not one of those people that just wants to lie there. So we're going to kind of recap real quick about what we talked about last week and just kind of go through it real quick. And we pretty much all agreed love is love. You are adults. So again, I guess I have to recap this part. We are talking about adults dating adults. We're not talking about minors dating adults. We're talking about
people who are 18 and above, and large gaps in age differences, which seem to be taboo, but it's becoming more and more mainstream, where people are in their 60s and they're dating people in their mid to late 20s, things like that, or even 80s, in their 80s dating. I've seen, who was it? Clint Eastwood. I think that there was a very large gap between him and his wife. You got men in their 60s and 70s having children with younger spouses.
Got to keep the family going. Got to keep it going. And it was
No,
funny, this morning when I was, putting this all together. What every morning I get up, I read MSN, I read the news, and it was funny because I was writing for the show, and kind of reading what was in the articles, and the first article that comes up on the screen. Leo DiCaprio dating a 27-year-old. And I was just like, what is this? I guess we got to talk about that tonight. That's why I added it. To be honest, that's why I put it on here, because I was like, you go, Leo. 47, dating 27. So, all right, whatever,
Brad
Leo.
Pitt could probably date a 25-year-old with no problem. But so can Angelina Jolie.
Yeah. Well, we've kind of all come to the conclusion love is love, but we did suggest that, I think if the relationship is more than just sex, then I think we all agree that maybe you should sit down and have a conversation with both of each other, and to figure out where you want this relationship to go, because you have family, you got kids involved, you got social stuff that you have to deal with, if you're ready for all that stuff, then yeah, go for it. Jump into it. Who cares how much, how much the age gap is there? If you enjoy each other and you're okay with the social stigma, and being able to go home and and introduce your kids to your half your age wife, if you're all good with that, then you knock yourself out, right? What do you think, Deana?
I don't know. That's fun times. That actually had me thinking about some stuff. I actually prefer older men, and I mean, I'm 40.
Yeah.
But I tend not to look it. So when I go into places with older men that look their age, I get mistaken for nieces and daughters and all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah.
Just call him daddy.
That's creepy though.
I know.
No calling daddy. No calling. If he wants you to call him daddy, there's more involved in that relationship than just love.
No, there's many people who have the little fetish, and they do pet
whatever.
names.
That is red flag. That is red flag fucking shit. That dude's got issues. That's all I'm saying. I mean, if she brings it up, that's different. Maybe, but then again, she may have. I mean, she may have some issues too, as well.
Sometimes it has nothing to do with issues. It's just a fetish. It's just something.
No.
It's just the way that it is. Because I know people who they call their significant other in the household, in papi, daddy.
I don't know.
That's
sometimes it's a pet name, and that's just their thing.
Just like mommy or hey mama.
I'm good.
Mommy and hey mama. So,
all I care about, I don't want to be called daddy, but I don't want to not be called by the wrong name. So those are two pretty important things. So
no, they call you Papa.
if I'm making love to you and you yell out Steve, I'm gonna have some issues with that. So I'm gonna have issues with that, and if you call me daddy. So if you just call me John, and I'm good with that. But yeah, I mean,
just like Biggie Small says, you can call me Big Papa.
You call me Big Papa. Yeah, just don't call me Steve or Bob or Henry. My name is John, and don't call me Daddy, and everything will be fine. Everything will be fine.
Johnny Song, that's not my name.
Yeah,
that's not my name.
I think it's going to be several more years, maybe decades, before I think even that social stigma is going to be gone. But I think people are starting to realize that, the internet and everyone having a cell phone in their hand, dating has gotten a lot easier, and it's gotten bigger, it's broader,
and more dangerous.
It is more dangerous, but you're not limited to who your family is going to set you up with, who you meet at a bar, who's at church. Now you have the world in your fingertips.
Board.
Yeah, I mean, you're just so many options out there. And then, of course, there are maybe, like even Deana said, there are women that prefer an older guy. And I think society needs to adjust somehow and accept that, there's, seeing a 50-year-old with a 27-year-old, it shouldn't be an issue any longer.
That's not something that's new.
Yeah, it's not new. It's not new.
Not new information.
But I think it's gotten to be more broad now because of internet dating, Facebook, TikTok, Twitch, all these opportunities to meet different people that let's think about what life was prior to, the introduction of the internet. I mean, we knew people maybe 3 or 4 blocks
In your
from each other.
neighborhood,
Yeah, and who we met at
family.
school. Yeah, at
Mhm.
school. We didn't know
Well,
fucking, Guadalupe Davis Rodriguez from Mexico. You don't know that guy, and now, well, yeah, everybody's right there.
Guadalupe.
You know what I mean? There's just everybody is there so quickly, and with dating, whether you not you slide the bar as far as you want, 100 miles, 200 miles, 300 miles, whatever. I don't know how far the bar goes on those apps.
Jesus. No,
You know,
they actually you like they go in other countries
right,
too.
right,
They
yeah.
but I'm not trying to fly anywhere.
Hey,
yeah, no
Michael,
thanks.
Michael, why don't you come on the show, Mike? These are some fun topics. I could use another guy on the
Mike's like,
show.
fuck
I am
this
the
shit.
sandwich. I am the sandwich. No, because Taylor Swift is not 27 years old. So I don't want a 20. I wouldn't want a 27-year-old. That's that's not dating. That's work. That is work.
That's work.
That's grooming
That-
and
Yeah,
training.
I mean, and the first time we wake up on a Saturday morning and she says, "Let's go for a 6 mile run," I'm gonna be like, "Fuck you." You know, I'll
Johnny
have
wants a
Mhm.
coffee.
lazy young
Yeah, I'll
woman.
have
He
coffee
doesn't want
waiting for you when we get home. Or, hey, Johnny, let's go to the gym for 6 hours. No, fuck no. I'll
Yeah,
go
no.
watch a 6 hour movie, but I won't go to the gym for 6 hours. I mean,
Johnny's just give me a
that's not
couch, give
that's
me a
not happening.
beer.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Just some
that's
Netflix.
the other thing we talked about when you are, dating someone much younger. We talked about how I feel like, if there's that big, now I'm going to say, let me say this. Okay, 5 years, no big deal. 10 years, I really don't think is a big deal. But when you start getting into, say, 15 and 20 years and she's younger, I remember what I said. I feel like you're stealing that person's childhood, not childhood, but her,
Their
you
experiences,
their
their they
experiences. Yeah,
but it also depends on the mentality of the person and what they desire as well.
yeah,
Because as we know, the the different generations, it depends on where you grew up.
yeah.
Somebody who grew up in New York versus somebody who grew up in Tennessee.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
do you don't you think though, if you are going to date someone that's and like say, okay, let's take me for instance, I'm 54 years old and I have someone that is let's stay at an even number 30.
mhm.
Don't you think, for me, this is how I would approach this date? Whether I get it, she likes older men, that's fine. I'm happy with that, but I still want to know what her goals are in life because I don't want to be able to take those away from her. You know, if she has ambitions to, move on at work, or hey, I want to run a marathon someday with my partner. All those things, I want to take all that stuff into consideration, and at least then I can say, you know what, this isn't going to work. These are
That's why you
things.
discussed that
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
beginning.
yeah. These things aren't going to work for me. And, do you want, if you want a relationship, I suggest you go find someone else, maybe a little bit younger, that's going to be able to have your back and help you along the way, and
We
not
know that
steal your
you want
dreams.
somebody that's
Yeah.
probably in their early 40s
Right.
to
I don't
mid
want to steal
40s. We
anyone's
know that.
ambitions and dreams. That's the thing that you have to consider when you're dating someone much younger. Is like, hey, you got to experience all those things. And how many 50, 60-year-old guys want to go to a nightclub? When you're
Some,
20, when
believe it
you're
or not,
25, when you're 25, let's remember 25. After what'd you do after 5 o'clock on a Friday? Like
I
you
don't
were.
know. I had kids when I was 25.
Yeah,
yeah,
we all
I was
we all
I
had
already
kids.
I was on my fourth child.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wasn't partying or going to the
Yeah,
club.
no.
Sorry. That happened in my 30s.
yeah. I just, like I said, I just feel like you should have that conversation and make sure that you guys are, there's certain things that are give and take. I'm not going to get up and run, 4 miles every morning with you, and I'm not going to,
If you
party
met
every
the right
Saturday and
person, you
Sunday.
might consider it, and she
Yeah,
doesn't necessarily need to be in her 20s. You can
right.
meet somebody in her early 40s, mid 40s that do that as well.
Yeah, but they're living off that second wave. That I just got divorced. I need to party my ass off and learn from my mistakes
You're
again. That's
just a you're just a negative Nelly.
That's very
it's
I
overgeneralized.
know. Every single thing I tell him, he's like, "Well, it's just because they just got newly divorced and they want to
that's
have sex
that's
again."
that's the
You know,
norm.
I
I've
got
been through
divorced
it.
when
We
I was
all go through it.
23. When I was 25, I was still a single mom
Yeah,
with a 5-year-old.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I wasn't going to. I
dude.
still won't go to clubs.
But
My
picture
jam is
yourself at
Netflix and
25,
chill.
Deana. Picture yourself at 25 without that kid. And say you just got out of a marriage at 25. Say you just got out of a divorce. You're just divorced, and
I guess
you're
maybe I'd probably
45,
be celebrating a little bit, especially
and you just
considering who I
raised
was
two
married to.
kids. Let's
Well,
look at it that way. Let's look at you're 45. You just raised two kids. You just got divorced. Do you want to sit down and read books all night with another guy, or do you want to go out and party and maybe do those things you didn't get to do when you were 25 because you were raising a kid? That's what happens.
I don't know.
well,
That's hard to
I
say.
actually did get divorced in 2017. I was
Yeah,
single after being with my ex for almost 8 years. I didn't go to clubs. I didn't go to parties. I was
yeah,
working. All of my kids are grown. I was
yeah,
taking care of things. So no, I didn't
yeah,
want to go to clubs. No, I didn't want to go. I wanted to go to like food festivals and hear live music and go to galleries and museums
yeah.
and meet people who had substance and something to talk about other than fucking video games. You know, I wanted
Thank you.
something more. And I did. I went out on dates, but I was much more choosy. I asked a lot of questions. I told everybody from the beginning, the factory's closed. It's a target range. If you want kids, I'm not your person.
Yeah.
So so I
Yeah.
was very very, and you got little ones, I think you're cool, but I don't necessarily want to be changing diapers, I'm cool.
Yeah.
Don't you want to change a diaper? Don't you miss
No,
the
I don't want to change a
Well,
baby's diaper and I don't want to change an adult's diaper. I'm
Come
good.
on, nothing better than changing green poop. Remember green poop, guys?
oh God, remember back? No, no. I never want
I
to
I
relive that.
nursed my children, so it was kind of like yellow cottage cheese.
Yeah,
Ew.
yeah. You guys are gross.
You started
You
it.
started
You
it.
you thought you could gross us out. Haha. We have
Yeah,
We have our
vaginas.
own gross
Remember,
stuff.
they expel things every fucking month.
yeah. Everything changes when you see that kid come out of there, though.
Like Ace Ventura out of no.
It's like, oh, you start reevaluating life. It's,
It's like,
it might have
Jesus, I thought that I was giving it to her.
you.
Fuck. No.
Yeah. It's like Jesus Christ. That was
Like,
at least 8? Yeah. I love guys. When they hear at first they hear centimeters. They don't realize the difference. 10 inches. Holy shit!
No, no, no. 10
What the hell's
centimeters,
coming out of there?
sweetheart. 10
Not
centimeters,
inches,
sweetheart.
centimeters, buddy, centimeters. I might have a new grandson in a couple hours. Who knows? A granddaughter. Sorry, granddaughter.
Granddaughter.
yay.
So we're all good. We're all good with that topic. Yeah, date whoever you want to date. I think you should sit down and discuss it with each other. If it's a relationship that you want to continue forward, figure out what you guys are looking for. See if you can accept the social stigma. There's nothing worse than getting involved in a relationship and then 6 months down the road somebody goes, you know what, I can't deal with this, people staring, or I can't, getting comments from work. Well, you should have discussed that in the beginning if you were able to deal with that or not. I think that's important. What else? I mean,
I think
family's
I
important.
Well, yeah,
Family's
but you know what? In
important.
all honesty, if they don't pay your bills, fuck them. But
Yeah,
it I think that once you hit 25, if date, if you want to date somebody who's 30, 35, 40, 50, you're 20. I think that 25, 26, that's when they said you have the more so mental maturity, especially for women.
yeah,
You still want to grow and you still want experiences, of
yeah,
course, and you're
yeah,
still technically young, but at that age, I think that there's a better chance
yeah.
of there being some things.
Well, let me ask both of you too. Do you? Now, I want you to be honest here. Do you feel the 25-year-old female today? How much different is she than you were at 25?
Oh God.
Oh, yes. I was going to say something about that because
Go ahead, Deana.
generationally, 25 for us,
Yeah.
way different. I'm looking at my son who's going to be 21 this year, still lives in my basement. Like,
Yeah.
he gives me rent money, he pays his own cell phone bill, but that's like it.
Yeah, 20, it's a whole different world. There's a different
Yeah,
mentality. They've grown up
exactly.
they've grown up in a complete
And
technology
he could be
age.
on Twitter right now. And I told him, go ahead. His basement is separate. I will not come a knocking.
Coming knocking, boy.
He was on, what's that? The no, whatever the
Twitch.
swipey
Yeah.
Twitch.
Oh, no. Oh, you're talking about
Whatever the
Tinder?
swipey app is.
Tinder?
Tinder. He said he was
Tinder.
on it for like a day and a half. He's like,
Yeah, I've
Not his jam.
gotten a couple other younger guys that were just like, this is insane. They just can't deal with it. It's all. I think people don't realize, that
It's too buffet style.
it's unlimited. To be honest, it's an unlimited amount of people that are going to see you unless you set, like I said, I know they have a gauge thing there. I guess you can set it for so many the
Sure.
distance. But again, if you are a guy or a gal, do you really want to stay within your 50-mile radius? You want to broaden. You want to get out there. You want to see what else is out there. Who do you want to keep dating guys from your town or the town over or the town? Pretty much you ran into all those guys at one time or another. Fucking so.
You know what? I'm fortunate. I live in Orange County. I'm
Yeah, that's
close to Los Angeles. I'm close to, all different places around here. There's a shit ton of people. I don't
Let
have to
me
worry about
let
that.
me see. And Mike, if you're still listening, I think you are. What is your range set on your thing? Because I'm kind of curious to see how far your range is. Because I've seen guys set it to 100. I've seen 200, 300 miles, and I guess some of the apps. Before we get out of this subject, but I guess some of the apps we talked about, they know if you're in a different town. So like if you're visiting Reno,
Hmm.
you'll start getting people from Reno on your
That's
thing.
Tinder.
Yeah.
That's all of them.
Ew.
Yeah.
It
You have to
identifies you
set it
wherever
up
you are.
though. You have to set it up to do that. It doesn't do it automatically. There's a
Oh,
feature that
so the pigs of Tinder. Got it.
yeah. I'm gonna do my Tinder profile. I'm gonna do what Conan did, and I'm gonna get a van. And I'm gonna show up in a van that has like a big hawk painting on the side of it.
Because you want someone to call the police on you. That's
A
kind of
couch,
dangerous
a
nowadays.
couch in there, cameras. See, Mike is 50 to 60 max. See, that's good. That's an hour drive. I would not mind. And I feel like you're getting out of Modesto. You're getting out of the Central Valley somewhat, going 60 miles. Because 60 miles from Modesto would be Sacramento and Merced. So that would be
I
that's
don't think you want to date anybody in Merced.
you
No,
did. You
no,
never
no.
know. You never know. I think
It's
it's
been a
good.
long time since I've been
Yeah, I
there.
think
But
I think I think the 25-year-old today. Do I think they are more prepared than we were at 25? I think they have had more technology than we did at 25, but I think we were better prepared socially. Can you guys agree with that? I think we were more
Sure.
prepared at
Yeah.
25 socially than the 25-year-old today, who's more shy, set back, on the
More
phone, keyboard
introverted.
warrior, internet, playing games till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, where we were more out there doing our thing, meeting people, being social, doing things at work. Yeah, so I think it
you
could be
had a
overwhelming.
different experience than I did.
Well, I mean, and Jennifer, you got to remember, I was married at 21 and had a kid at 22. But so
Yeah.
my different, sure, was a little bit different. But I felt like I was more prepared for the world at 21 than I think a majority of the people are today. I think today they're always they're. I don't want to destroy a whole generation of people. I just feel like
I don't
the
want to
parents are
destroy.
a little bit more softer on them. To sit back, don't go the extra mile. Don't try to, because this, for instance, the quiet quitting. This is the generation we're talking about. where our parents said, you
Non-confrontational.
don't fucking like your job, quit, get the fuck out of there, or, keep your head down. What was that old saying? Keep your head down, your ears closed, and your mouth shut, and just work and get your paycheck. That was like the thing my dad said, if you need the job very important to you and that you need the money to pay your
Don't
rent and
ruffle
bills,
any
right?
feathers.
Yeah,
Just
keep your eyes
but
closed, keep
that's
your ears
basic.
shut, and keep your
Quit
mouth shut.
quiet quitting is basic. They're not going above and beyond. They're not
Yeah,
killing
well, we'll get
themselves.
into
They're not
that, Jennifer. We'll get
overworking.
into that. Relax. Take a deep breath, Jen. All right, everybody. I was thinking like we could do like in between segments, like yoga. Do like some yoga moves in between segments.
You can bend over and show everybody your ass, but I'm good.
Yes, you're right, Mike. Exactly. They are. It is. They are more selfish and more self-centered, and I think the parents' generation was about finding someone to be with and start a family. Yeah, yeah. That was the thing. Growing up for me, I knew like that was all set up. It's like you graduate high school, either you went to college or you found a job, you got established. Uh, Preferably, you bought a house before you had kids. That was kind of the thing before you got married to own a house, which didn't happen. I didn't happen until after I got married, but that was like the thing. And today, that's all ass backwards. I mean,
Well,
it,
because you
yeah.
can't buy a house. Have you looked at the amounts? You have to,
No, you can't. You can't buy a house.
if
No,
you,
but
it's
I mean,
ridiculous.
I'm just talking about a house, but even just renting, that's the
That's
other thing. You
insane
want
as
it to be.
well.
Nowadays, you're seeing like today, these days, you're seeing more and more people still at home, because they
Yeah,
just can't,
because
or
they can't afford.
you're seeing divorced couples staying and getting divorced and staying in the same house because they just they can't afford to live separate lives, and that would be so weird. I couldn't do that.
Done that a
I just
couple
could
times.
not do that, dude.
Ooh, no
Sitting there eating
bueno.
a bowl of fucking cereal, and the dude comes out, hey, you're fucking my ex-wife. All right, man, cool,
You
cool.
just
Does she still do that thing with her tongue? Does she still do that thing with her tongue? Nah, I couldn't do it. That would be like the fucking weirdest thing ever. I mean, it's like, yeah, no, I
The
don't
thing
even.
is
no,
what's
no.
really
I don't
funny,
want.
Johnny, is you're talking about all this stuff and you live with your mom.
Yeah, but I take care of her. I take
Yeah,
care
I
of her.
know,
That's
but
the
you
only
live at
reason I'm
home.
here. That's the
You
only
live at
reason I'm
home.
here. Yeah, yeah. That's the only reason. I could go buy a house right now if I wanted to, but why wouldn't I? What am I going to do? Live by myself?
And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
generation sees that
yeah,
they come together.
yeah.
I've known multi
But yeah, it's
households where
different.
they
I'm
pay
I'm I'm
rent.
I'm 54. I can go buy another house if I want to. These kids are
I'm not
nowhere
saying
near
it's
even
a
having
bad
the
thing
20%. They don't even have the 20% to put down on a
because they
house.
can't because a lot of the opportunities that they have don't necessarily pay the means to do that. I
No,
work
I
in the
mean,
mortgage
Health is so
industry.
yeah,
expensive.
yeah.
I
It's
work in the mortgage
expensive.
industry. It's what
Then
I
then then
do.
move. Then move and find another place to live and then reestablish yourself and
You're gonna have to reestablish yourself in another state that has
that's like if
less.
I was 25 right now, if I was 25 right now and I knew that I couldn't buy a house here in Modesto, I would move. I would move somewhere else in another part of the country or another part of the state where I could still continue doing my preferred career and be able to buy a house. That's the difference. That's what I'm saying. These people today would rather live with 6 people in one apartment.
Well,
I
yeah, because the
that
affordable houses in places that
but
have like
yeah,
tornadoes and shit.
you're never going to get nowhere that way. You're going to be 40 years old and still living with 6 people. That's how
There's
I look
nothing
at
wrong
it.
with community living depending on the place that you are. We just as Americans, we're used to a certain style of living. In other countries, families do live together. Actually, sometimes multiple families. It's just this is
Yeah,
our
yeah,
world.
yeah. Move, go find another place to live and reestablish yourself and grow some balls, grow some cojones and go redo your
If I grew
go
some
move somewhere
balls,
else.
people
Go
that I
do.
date may or may not like that.
Yeah. All right, let's talk
Grow some
about
eggs.
the hold on here. Let me make sure. Da, 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 da. What happened? What happened here, John? Hold on. My notes, my notes. I'm dealing with one screen today, guys. My other monitor took a shit. So I'm dealing with one single screen today. All right, there we go. and I'm splitting the windows, and it's just not the same. It's not the same. I need it. I need the other monitor. Quiet quitting, driven by many of the same under factors of achieving. Hold on here. What is this? Oh, I got my notes all mixed up. Pardon, pardon. Quiet quitting continues to fulfillment of their primary responsibilities, but they're less willing to encourage and achieve known as citizenship behavior. No more staying late, showing up early, attending non-mandatory meetings. So basically, it's their way of quitting without quitting, And I went the other way. I don't know what you guys went to research, but I went to research the negative side of quiet quitting. So I don't know what you guys went and looked at, just basically what quiet quitting is. And for me, I was kind of I wanted to go to a business newspaper, and so I picked, I forget which company I worked. That was more dealing with the issue of how it's going to affect companies instead of the employees. So that's what I went into that part of it. So let's see here. Where did it go? It's one of those days. Having one monitor sucks.
It's because we're in Mercury retrograde.
when quitting,
damn those planets. There's like 6 planets in retrograde right now. It's like all effed.
Yeah,
all fucked.
Yeah. And what I was looking up and what I understood, I get it. I understand maybe shutting down, maybe saying, "Hey, wait, you know what?" Maybe sometimes it took 10 years for someone to say, "You know what? I'm not getting nowhere. I'm going to the extra meetings. I'm staying an extra hour every night, or I'm going way and beyond anyone else in the company, and they haven't noticed me." And then I can kind of understand a little bit of quiet quitting, but if you're
After
quiet,
10 fucking years,
hey, I'm a fucking workaholic. That's how I am. I mean, I did this. I'm just picturing myself.
Yes.
I'm just picturing myself doing this in, back in the 90s, and thinking what would have happened to me if I didn't pick up the phone call at home on my day off, or
we would have all been fired.
yeah, you'd been gone.
We wouldn't have a job anymore.
Yeah, you're done. You're
I've
finished.
never had to deal with that. So
I guess it depends on what kind of work you're doing, but a lot of times you think about it like, in the office environment. I mean, that thrives on people's, going far and beyond sometimes and overachieving a little bit. Because if you don't have that in that office environment, you're not pushing Joe Blow over there at the other table or the other desk to try a little harder and achieve a little bit more. And when if you're just gonna put your head down and just say, "Hey, I'm out," I'm not going to do that.
It depends on the company. I know that at one time, the company that I work with, there are times when has been mandatory overtime, which you don't have a choice. It's mandatory because of what's needed for the servicing. And then there's voluntary. Generally, we always have voluntary overtime, and people don't necessarily do it for recognition. They do it for money. So and I've worked in call centers now for over 25 years. So I can tell you, yeah, there's some that have required overtime, but you know that going in.
Yeah.
And you know that you're just like, now there's no required overtime. So I work my 40. And actually they just cut off the overtime because people were most likely abusing it.
Yeah. What do you got, Deana?
Sure. Oh, goodness. Gee, I mean, I feel like the pandemic changed a lot of this, because I mean, this whole supply chain situation was, and you didn't have a choice. You would either be an asshole and step back and take your 40 hours, or you would put it in extra because you knew everybody else was trying to. We had the voluntary and mandatory overtime. Like, the people in the warehouse had to do the extra, and the people in the office had and I always felt bad about being the office girl that was like, I might show up tomorrow, I might not.
Yeah. The reality is that, most jobs, you can't fully define, what the formal roles of that or of that job or description or contact of it. So, you're relying on employees to set up, meetings, extra demands as needed. I mean, things change.
Sure.
I mean, it's constant. I mean, especially if you're in a business that's, you know, that's fast paced and constantly changing up to the every second, every minute of the day, you know. And for if you have a staff that just says, "Hey, you know what? I'm tired."
Sure. Burnout is a real thing. Like,
Yes, it
I've been
is.
working 6 days, 7 days a
Yeah.
week for the last. I need some time.
You go fucking crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
All work and no play makes
I
the
worked
worst
6 days
something.
a week for a few months when the pandemic first happened. When
Yeah.
Yeah,
we transitioned from a call center that housed, I think, over 500 fucking people to, you got a laptop? Here, go home. Do it from your bedroom.
Ooh,
And we had to transition, and it was insane. And those of us who knew what we were doing had to take on extra roles. And it was what it was.
it
6
was
days a
what it
week.
was.
6 days a fucking week for a
Yeah.
few
Yeah.
months.
I mean, that's the thing.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean,
Now I'm
you
like,
know,
nope.
I mean, I don't think a major. I think this is very limited. I don't think this is as big as an issue as that they're making it into it be, because some sort of TikToker decided to start this trend. I don't think it's ravaging through all these companies. I think it's just something they picked up. Anytime something trends on TikTok and it
Mhm.
makes it to the fucking news, it just makes me laugh, because it's just like,
Yeah, it's
this
just
isn't
garbage.
fucking news. This isn't.
Johnny's like, but you're what about
Oh
me? I'm like, oh my God, you're working your 40
Yeah,
hours.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it just, to me, it makes me laugh, because it's just like, okay, but then again, you start to get a little bit, you start to think about what's going on at Apple. Like, Apple employees now are just like, you know what, fuck this. We like working at home. We don't want to come back to work.
Well, I mean, if you want to look at other countries, like there are nets put outside of buildings in Japanese and Chinese factories so that you
Because
don't
people
die when you try to
because
jump out the
yeah,
window.
people
Yeah,
jump
So,
yeah,
because they're overworked. You have countries that have 4-day work weeks with certain requirements with regards to vacation, because they can appreciate the want and need for work life balance. And the
yeah,
thing is that we've been conditioned, especially the boomers and those before, have been conditioned to basically work yourself to death. The factories, everything. It's been something that's been conditioned into us. Other countries don't necessarily work like that, and other countries treat their people like, working
third,
slaves. Working slaves, where they're in sweatshops. They're not necessarily making a wage to live. So what's wrong with having a better work life balance and
right.
saying no to the extra load that any company would give you if you said, "Ooh, I'll take it."
Yeah.
right,
Well, that
exactly.
that 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 that's on you, though. I mean, you need to decide that, but you can't. I mean, for me, I looking at it like, okay, I get it. You don't want to do you don't want to do the overtime, or you don't want to, attend, when it. But here, I'm trying to get this out right. But when you start saying, I don't want to attend the mandatory meeting, or I don't want to work together as a group and share ideas, uh, or
It's not
or
saying that.
well, basically that's what it is, because you,
No.
you you're not wanting to contribute. You wanted to do just what
Quiet
you want to
quitting.
do and end it, and not do any extra work.
No,
And
not
I
what
think
you
that
wanna
hurts.
do, you're
That
doing
hurts.
what the job entails
But
per the
again, the
Right,
description
and
of
job,
then
the
you're
job
not
it's
when you
going
were
almost
above and beyond.
hired.
impossible.
I,
It's almost
mhm.
impossible for any company to define your role as an employee. It's impossible.
Really?
Things change all the time. Sure, your call center, that's fine. I understand that. But every now and then, maybe you have to answer a call that isn't about customer service. Maybe
That's
there's
in your contract.
but that's it. That's what I'm saying. Things are hard to
It
all your
depends on the
duties.
company you work for. I
Yeah.
drew a strict line at the last company that I worked for because it was 50
Yeah.
people. I will not drive a forklift. Now, don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. I
Yeah.
know how to drive a forklift,
Yeah.
But
technically. But
you
Yeah.
I'm not doing that because
Yeah.
then you
Right. You
get
don't feel
signed up
safe and
for
face.
extra
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes for me personally, I do this thing where I go into a job and I'm like, everything. What do you want? What you got?
Yeah.
Bring
Yeah.
it. I'll take all the things. And I feel like quiet quitting is that moment of you have to draw a boundary. I'm not
Yes,
going to
it's
learn
about
these things
boundaries.
because I don't want to be
Yeah.
relied on for these extra responsibilities. I'm not going to be that guy.
They'll pile it onto you until you go insane.
Exactly. Exactly. And you can be eager and you can be ready to be the team player, but still be like, I'm not going to
Whoa.
work 50 hours this week. I'm not. I'm sorry. At
Nope.
4:30, I buy beer, and that's the line that I draw.
Right. Well, no. Yeah, that I get. I mean, if you want to do your 40 and get out of there, but sometimes, let's take for instance, the company has a new customer that just come on board, and now, it's just last minute. If everyone were in the company were just to say, hey, you know what, I don't want to put in the extra work to guarantee that we keep this customer, and everyone just quiet quits, what happens to that
Okay,
customer? You
Well,
again,
lose.
that's why you write a contract with your customer that says
I
at
think,
this
yeah,
time we cut off your orders. If you
yeah,
order things
I
at this
guess I'm the
close.
I
time,
guess I'm
we
the
ain't
only
gonna ship
capitalist
them.
in this group here.
Sorry.
The thing is
Sorry,
that
Bunch
supply
of
chain.
friggin'
I work in
socialists
supply
over here. They got two socialist females working on
okay,
the show.
no. I work hard and I work my 40, and there's been times when I've worked more than 40 hours a week, and that's by choice. But
Yeah,
the moment I've seen people who show eagerness to go above and beyond, and I've seen people get taken advantage of, and
yeah.
they do not get. I've been one of those people where I busted my ass and I have shown not only the knowledge, the skill, everything, and I got overlooked because of a popularity fucking contest.
because
I
of a
got over
competition
Yeah, I got
situation.
overlooked for lots of things. I
Maybe you
had to
weren't
work
working hard
my
enough.
You want my foot up your ass?
I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I want to get you guys going,
All of my reviews were
Yeah.
not average. They were always above average, excellent, excels, all that shit.
I'm high
I
fiving you from
I've
afar.
always been that way, but I have been taken advantage of with certain companies. I have my voice was the voice of an entire fucking company for their internal phone system. Do you know how much people get paid to do that shit? And I got paid my regular hourly rate. I got a few hours off the phones, but my voice was the fucking recordings for everything, disclosures, introductions, the automated system. Do you think I got paid extra for that?
Hell no. That's just like written into your job contract. Like, oh,
We're
you
gonna
didn't
take you
know
off the
that's part of
phones.
your.
You sound nice. We're gonna go ahead and make you. It's an honor.
Mhm.
Here's a little. La, la, la.
Hey, everybody should work their 25 years and get that watch. That's the whole goal. That's the goal.
Fuck
That's
your watch. I
that's
can
a
buy my
no-no.
own watch.
Ah.
He almost made hair
Uh,
come out my nose. That was so cute. Oh,
yeah. But do you feel like, though, if that were to continue, then it puts a strain on the employees that are trying to work a little bit harder and keep their jobs and keep those paychecks coming in, and doing what's necessary to keep the company afloat? You ever think about that?
And the way companies work in my industry, we have enough butts and seats to
You
take
you
care of
work you
things.
work for a company that represents other companies. You don't
No,
represent. That's
no,
all you.
we're a corporation. We
You're a
have
call center
w-
corporation.
no, we
Which
okay,
clients for
okay,
you with
okay,
clients from outside source. You're
okay. No,
subcontracting.
n-
Companies are subcontracting you guys to deal
okay,
with their
no.
problems.
You don't know what the fuck I do you?
That's what I thought you did.
Okay, no, no. I work, and I'm not going to say the name of my company because I am not licensed to advertise on behalf of my company, but
Not on this show.
I work for a very large mortgage servicing company that it is not
Okay, you're a different call
shared.
center.
It is a corporation. It is owned by
Yeah,
one man, and
yeah.
we have a huge portfolio, and we service them all. And we're actually getting, I think, 180,000 more here shortly because we keep buying off portfolios from other mortgage servicing companies.
Thank you, Mike. That's
We're
exactly what I was
huge.
going to go with next. Yeah, because that's what ends up happening. Eventually, that will end up happening. You see that person that does quiet quitting is
Depends on
going
the
to get
industry.
upset because Bob is going that extra mile, and he's going to get the promotion. He's going to get the bigger paycheck. He's going to get the bigger office. He's going to get to go out to lunch with the CEO and the manager. And then what do you do then? Then as an employee, you quiet quit. You decided that you don't want to go the extra mile, which is fine. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go the extra mile, and I'm not saying you shouldn't just do your 40 and go home. That's fine if that's how you want to do it. But you got to take into consideration what Mike is saying as well. Are you going to get upset when Bob gets the promotion? Are you going to get upset when Bob gets the bigger office? Are you going to get upset when Bob gets the parking space closer to the front door? Those
I
are the
think
things.
that's an older mentality that's starting to die.
No, that happens every day in the workforce. That happens every day in the workforce. That even happens in warehouses. Who gets to go out to lunch because that guy's busting his balls. That's going to happen. I
So
mean, that
there's no
happens.
favoritism at all.
No, because why wouldn't you, as a supervisor and a manager or a CEO of a company? Who are you more going to pat on the back? The guy that's quiet quitting, or the guy that shows up 15 minutes early for work and leaves 20 minutes after, or takes that extra
Quiet
phone call?
quitting is not necessarily not showing up
No,
early
no, no,
for
no, no,
work.
no. But yes, I know exactly. But you're not doing the things that you think you need to do to achieve and move forward in the
I
company.
think
You're
you're
basically saying, I'm
associating
just going to do my 40. I'm not going to go the extra mile. I'm not going to see something in a contract and point it out to anyone anymore. You're not going to do those things anymore. And what ends up happening is that other guy that does do those things gets the promotion, and now you're upset because he went the extra mile.
if
He got the
somebody's
promotion.
quiet quitting, why are they going to be upset?
Go ahead, Dean.
Right. That's what I was going to get at. Like, that is, if you're trying to quietly bow out, why are you going to be upset about a promotion that
You're
you
not
didn't?
going to
Because
fucking
it's
care.
just
Trying to
human
bow out.
nature. It's human
Not for
nature to be
everybody.
upset.
Well,
Even
yeah, get upset. Like, then you're stupid because you didn't take into consideration that you were purposely trying to quietly bow
Oh
out.
my
You were
God, I
doing the
didn't
bare
try
minimum.
and I didn't get it.
well,
Right.
I
I
think
mean,
I
you
think
can't
it's
pull Costanza and just take the trophy and run it around in circles
for
all the time,
me
can you?
to the way I look at it. Just quit. Just fucking
Yes,
quit.
exactly. If
Just
that's what
quit.
you want to do, then just walk out.
Yeah,
But if you're going to get upset you didn't get a promotion because you were doing the bare minimum, then that's on you.
yeah.
And sometimes people just do the bare minimum
I'll
because they
just
need
give
the
you
money.
what the
Right,
one thing many very
totally.
big
In this
businessmen have.
economy,
CEOs of companies, millionaires, and stuff like that I've talked to over the last 50 years. And I'll tell you exactly the words that they said to me. If you don't like what you're doing and you don't think the company's doing what they're doing to make your life better or easier or whatever, then go see what it's like owning your own company.
oh,
And,
Not
sure.
yeah.
everybody has the
F that.
ability.
No, thank you.
No.
Yeah. And then you can kind of go into why quiet quitting could hurt a company, or why it could really take a great company and destroy it. And like, I'm not saying everybody should go the extra mile. I'm not saying that. I
So
get that.
everybody should just work themselves to death.
I just think that if you're there and you're doing the job and you spot something that's going to hurt your company and you choose not to bring it up because it's going to give you extra work,
Then that makes you a shitty employee. That's
Well,
just
yeah, that's
terrible.
different from
That's
quiet quitting.
terrible.
That's
that is
Yeah.
the
a
same thing.
horrible person.
The quiet quitter is going to do that. The quiet quitter is going to go, if I bring
Not
this up, it's going to cost
necessarily.
me overtime. This is going to cost me, I'm going to have to
That's not
stay
always going to
late. I'm
be
going
the
to have to
case.
come
It
in
depends
early
on the
tomorrow.
industry.
Overgeneralized. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a noise for that.
Overgeneralize. I'm like that. There's so many industries out there. I think that where you're coming
Yeah,
from, I'm
exactly.
sure it's
Thank you, Mike.
pertinent.
Sure.
Where you're coming from, I'm sure it's completely pertinent what you're saying, depending on the industry and what the job is. Certain
However.
industries, I mean, you do
Mhm.
your 8, you're done. And it's what you do within those 8 hours that
It's
determines
even the
your
guy
review.
that works at fucking Taco Bell that's making the fucking beans. It's the same thing applies to that guy. It's the same
I don't
thing.
know.
Hey, I didn't. I noticed
Hope he doesn't put anything in them.
I noticed the date. I noticed the date on the bag was off, but I don't want to deal with it. We already made the beans, so it's going to cost me overtime. I'm just going to put them out there.
We're just going to give people a disease, make them shit themselves. Paid enough, you care and go above and beyond without thinking about that. That's a very valid. That's a valid.
That's a very fair point.
Yeah.
If there weren't so many companies out there that were like, I'm paying you the bare effing minimum and I'm going to be an
give me your best
Nazi about it. Yeah. Like, you can't go out for smoke breaks. Your car is too far away for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can only pee twice a day.
Yeah, here's your pee bottle. You don't need to leave your desk.
Can
you imagine that? Here's your pee bottle. You don't have to leave your desk anymore.
Up on your desk.
Yeah, there's certain companies, certain places have certain rules, and I can tell you, I ain't working for some of them because no.
Yeah.
I purposely look for jobs for small companies because these giant people sometimes can be kind of Nazi-ish. And I'm a heavily tattooed human being.
Yeah.
These many fucks.
Yeah, I'm not defending every company out there. I just, to me, I've always felt like, if you see something and it's going to affect your career or affect the fact that you may not get a paycheck next week and it involves maybe you doing a little extra work, then do it. Don't quiet quit and leave it on somebody else to do it and just kind of walk away from it.
There's something to be said about teamwork and accountability. If you have your small team, support your team. Don't be a dick.
Oh, absolutely. I'm responsible for helping people on my team. I'm their auditor. Shit.
Right.
My team is my team. I will back them up. I will defend them when needed.
Exactly. And there's also something
are you going to defend them?
Exactly that. Have somebody that's going to be there to be your backup so that if you do something stupid or you say something that doesn't communicate well with your customer or your client, that can be recovered.
Yeah.
Yep, my team and everything. I see quiet quitters all the time with what I do, but my team, they don't exist. My team is a high level escalation red flag. You have to work your way to my team
because you did the work to build that team. You did the
work to build those relationships
with those people, which is amazing. And thank you.
Yeah, what are you going to do if they quiet quit?
Do
that. Quiet quitting in my industry is fucking up.
Yes.
Exactly. 4:59 and 52 seconds. He just hangs up and he's never going to answer the phone again.
Oh my gosh. No. I was having this conversation with my dad yesterday about construction work. I don't know how construction work is in California, but in Wisconsin, it's kind of fucking bullshit. We're having this conversation about how if I did my job as poorly as the construction workers in this town, even when you're given all this pandemic slack and you can work from home and do it on your hours, I would have been fired. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just there's no way. I mean, it all depends on what kind of work you're doing. I'm just throwing out, a lot of times if you really think about it, we're not really talking about your fast food employee or your car wash employee. These are corporations. These are companies that, these are educated people that that have got degrees that are in the workforce and to me it just it's different. It's not what I remember going into an office and seeing somebody saying, hey, don't worry about it, I got that, I'll make those extra copies, go ahead and do this, or hey, I got this, don't worry about it, I'll answer the next few calls so you can take care of this customer. I see that's what made certain companies thrive and become successful and continue to be successful and go 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. If this is some sort of trend where everybody just says, hey, I'm going to do my 40 and go home, I don't see companies thriving. I don't see, and I get it, do what you're getting paid to do. But like I said before, it's almost virtually impossible for every company to actually write down every single detail of your job. It's impossible. Things change constantly, quickly, all the time in the workforce and in companies and corporations. So just having people say, hey, I've done my 40, I'm going home, or I'm not going to do those extra copies, or I'm not going to come in 15 minutes early tomorrow because, you need me to be here. If people started doing that, I don't see companies moving on. I see, let's take the vaping industry, for instance. What is the biggest complaint about the vaping industry between websites and actual shops? The fact that the website only has one fucking person there and another person working in the warehouse filling orders, where the vape shop has 5-6 employees. Now, that's where I'm going. If companies don't have people to step up and do the extra work, they're not going to survive. They're not going to survive. Companies are not.
I get that, and I'm going to go ahead and chime in and vape is a very niche industry. So to go ahead and say that, maybe I'm going to retract all of this. I don't know.
It's
a very niche industry, and the supply chain situation on vape it's very different from, say, like vitamins or like some the company I work for now does like flashcards for third graders and fourth graders. That's a very
niche,
specific,
bigger picture, giant, like vaping kind of small compared to third graders.
Oh yeah, I just used them as a for instance. I mean, that's where it's going. I mean, if this situation continues to go on where employees start doing that, well, guess what? The workforce is going to be at home, and they're going to be replaced by other not people, but robots with no opinions, no ideas, no thoughts, no process. Just
debatable.
The thing is that in some industries, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm like, some industries, believe it or not. Okay, so you got different ways of thinking. If you're a technology person and you're thinking about futuristic things, every fucking movie and show we watched as kids that was scientific and sci-fi had robots working and making things. They even had robots that were like servants, like maids and stuff. They created a machine that could do these things so that human life could be easier and better. That was the intention.
Yeah, just think of it this way. What would happen if Albert Einstein or Thomas Edison just said, hey, I'm halfway through making this light bulb, but you know what? Fuck it.
I think that a future world where there's going to be more machines doing more of these jobs is what we're headed towards.
Yeah, but you still need people to do paperwork. You still need people to fucking
but there's
get customers. You still need people. People are still in there. That's what I'm saying. You got to have. It doesn't matter, because there's always going to be 5 or 6 guys that are going to continue to bust their ass, or women, or men or women. People are going to continue to bust their ass. They're going to continue to move up and keep achieving their goals and making sure a company stays viable. And if those people get promotions, I don't want to hear the quiet quitter getting upset because he didn't get the promotion. He didn't get the parking space. He didn't get to go out to lunch with the CEO. He didn't get the $25 gift certificate bonus for Christmas.
or the monthly subscription for the jam of the month.
Yeah.
These critical roles. Yep. Where things will break. Stop. I get what you need to be at your post from X to Y. Probably has increased a lot without increased compensation. Companies micromanage and clock watch are the ones who ultimately fail. Exactly. These kids are like, fuck you. Why am I going the extra mile when you're not giving me nothing?
Hey, hold on, guys.
It's very demeaning to get micromanaged.
Suck it, Pops.
Tell me how. I don't need to be told how to do my menial job.
Hold on, Deana. Hey, get off the fucking internet. Go get your wife. Go start walking. Have sex with her. Give her some spicy food. Get my granddaughter. Rub her nipples. Get my granddaughter out of her stomach, and so I can have a new granddaughter tonight. Get off the internet.
You stimulate the nipples.
Stimulate those nipples, man.
It'll actually induce contractions.
John Paul, go far and beyond the Call of Duty.
Yes.
That is the perfect. Don't be a quiet quitter.
This is not the time to be a quiet quitter. Make sure my granddaughter gets born. Let's go.
He's like, bang your wife. Give me that baby.
Ginger nauseous. Ginger ale. Drink ginger ale.
Stimulate the tank.
Stimulate their
If
tank.
you can.
Come here, let me tickle your butthole.
No, that's not great.
I think this is a very small majority of people that are doing this. I think it's a trend, to be honest with you. Can I use the trend? The word trend is a trend.
Yeah.
It's a thing
it's fucking
that's been
TikTok.
going on forever, and now we put a name on it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it'll be gone tomorrow. It'll be gone when people start to realize that they're unemployed.
Being 19 and working at Walmart, like, this is not my dream job. I'm gonna do what I have to do, and I'm gonna get
that's why I'm not bringing up those types of jobs.
Right.
We're talking about corporations. We're talking about corporate jobs. We're not talking about the Walmart employee. I mean, you have a right to say fuck it. I don't want to show up tomorrow. You work at Walmart.
I went above and beyond working at Walmart and got fired.
Yeah.
Months of unemployment after it.
Yeah.
So there's that. Just throwing it out there. Go above and beyond, and then collect unemployment
for your crazy grandchildren.
All my grandchildren are crazy.
Look at their grandpa. Share your blood.
I love her. I talking about my grandkids, but Bella, we were in Monterey for the Italian festival. There's there's these big boulders of rocks, just huge boulders. They're kind of close, but they're not. They're not close enough to where you got to jump to get to the other one. And that's what she was doing. And they were slippery rocks. And as a grandfather, all I'm thinking is she's going to split her fucking head open, man.
She's going to bust her head.
And Hope's like, God, leave her alone. I'm like, my blood pressure was just going. I couldn't look at her anymore. I had to turn around.
Like, my heart.
I couldn't. My heart felt like it was going to stop every time she jumped from rock to rock. All I kept picturing is her slamming her head on the rock. And I'm like, I can't do this.
The worst thing.
I walked away. I just fucking walked away. I was like, no.
You can't be overprotective as well. And I understand.
But I'm looking at the slippery,
I turned out all right. Are you
rock.
sure, John?
Yeah, John Paul gave me heart attacks as a kid. Yeah, I'm seeing slippery rocks. Number one, I mean like glass. These are rocks that are polished.
I've slipped on them before and busted my ass.
And she's wearing like very bad slippery shoes. So I couldn't take it.
You're having a fit.
With that being said, I don't know. Do what you got to do to stay. I don't even know where to go with this one, man.
Do your fucking job. If you want to, you don't want to do extra, that's fine. Somebody else will.
Yeah.
And don't
get bent. Don't get butt hurt.
Don't get bent.
Don't get bent if fucking Bob gets a fucking promotion. Don't be upset if he gets the closer parking spot to the front door. Don't be upset if you don't get invited to lunch by the CEO or the manager or the supervisor, And
right.
if that's
you did that to you at that point.
Yeah. If you're that guy, I know a lot of guys. I'll be honest with you, as a supervisor for a field company for almost 15 years, I know a lot of guys that would come into work, they would punch in and they would punch out, and then that's it. There's nothing extra. There was nothing. And those are the guys that, didn't get the pat on the back, didn't get the new truck when the new trucks came in. There are implications for your actions. So companies see that. If that's something you want to do and you're happy with that, and your company's going to be okay with it, and they're not going to fire you. We're not saying companies are going to start firing people because you're not going the extra mile. They may get a little bit upset, but
it's usually based on, in my industry, it's based on performance reviews. If you got a shitty performance review because you've been dicking off, we're going to have some decreases. It's going to be some vacancies.
Just do your thing, go home, and that's it. And don't be upset if, like I said, if you don't get the promotion, you don't get the extra little things that everybody else maybe around you are getting, but you're happy with just getting your paycheck and going home, and your company's good with that. And you're still doing your job. We're not saying quiet quitters aren't doing their job. We're just they're still doing their job. They're just they're not giving that what was the old saying, that extra 10%? Give me that extra 10%. But
they're not trying to go above and beyond. They're just trying to do their job.
Get it. It's tough. But then for me, you with this situation that they're talking about, you also got to take into consideration the current status this country. And if everyone were to just kind of just slack it in, I think, it could really hurt not just your job, but the economy and the country and the dollar and all kinds of stuff. It's all. Can you imagine if the president just said, "Hey, I'm going to quit right now, dude"?
But the thing is, like, fuck you, I did my 8 hours.
Yeah.
For the next 16 hours, whatever happens,
Can you see that?
happens.
Can you imagine Biden just like, "Hey, I did 8. I'm done. Who cares what's going on in Russia? I did my 8 hours."
I'm
Dude,
sorry.
they
I feel like if you're a politician, you don't get to do that. You blind
No,
everybody
no.
for so long.
They've
You
been
gotta do
calling
what
it.
you gotta do
forever.
while you gotta do it.
Yeah, the politicians have been quiet quitting for about 100 years.
Very true. Very true.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Continue.
I'm bringing you the kids. We're going in.
What?
All right. Well, we'll see.
We're going in sounds like something else.
Yeah,
That's what she said.
yeah. You mean
I'm
it's
bringing
going
you the
out? It's
kids.
coming out.
Oh no, he's saying
Darling.
he's got to bring you the baby because is she in labor? Are
My
they going
other
to the hospital?
grandchild. Yeah, he's got to bring me my other grandchild. They're at the hospital.
Hospital. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Dun,
exciting.
dun. I'll have 2 grandkids born on the same day. Aiden's birthday's today.
Holy
He's
shit.
11, and then Sophia. Yeah.
Don't let her hold your hand while she's going through
Rub them
contractions.
nipples.
She'll
Rub them nipples.
she'll
Slap that
break your
ass.
fucking
Give her some
fingers.
hot peppers.
Jesus
No.
Christ.
Yeah,
What?
it's
Her ass
spicy
will burn
food.
while she's giving birth.
Spicy food, sex, and walking induces labor.
You know what helped induce labor for me with Nadia? I ate Chinese food.
Yeah, Chinese food, some cow pow chicken.
No, it was chow mein. I had chow mein, and I think beef and broccoli.
All right,
With my son, it
catfishing.
was shower sex.
Everybody has. I think everybody has at least one person they've known to ask. Do you guys know at least one person that's been catfished?
I've been catfished.
You've been
But I knew it was catfishing.
You just played
so.
along. You just played along.
I've been catfished because I was like, no, this is not that person. Cute though, but I played along. But yeah, I've actually been catfished. It was funny.
Sons of
When
bitches.
they start asking you like for passwords and shit, it's like, no, fuck off.
But how that's the thing. I heard that, that's one of the things that you need to look out for is when, passwords and stuff. I'm like, how does a romantic conversation get to passwords? That's what I want to know. How does a romantic conversation online get to passwords without
when you start
red
talking
flags
about
going on?
when you start
What's your
talking
Google password?
Oh no, this is how it goes because they tried it on me, which was funny. But they're like, you talk to them for a while, you've conversation, you might be talking for a few weeks, and then they're like, I believe that when you're with somebody, you should have complete trust.
Yeah.
Trust that they're not going to kill you, trust that they're not going, they go in a very smooth way to try to get this. So me, this is, I see this going somewhere, but for me, for it to move further, I need to know that you trust me. So if you trust me, you're going to give me the password to it first starts with like your dating profile.
I don't even like
your dating profile or like your password, or something. It's funny. They fucking tried. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
Eat shit. Bye.
There's that great episode of Seinfeld where George won't give up his password to his ATM machine. And the person that's inside, back in, Deana knows because she's been in New York, but I don't know if we have him here, but back in New York, you had, I thought you were from New York.
No, Wisconsin,
okay.
maybe.
Well, they may have them there.
Milwaukee area.
In New York, they have like their glass little glass things where you have to put your card in to get in there to use the ATM, and then the door closes behind you so people can't sneak up behind you that don't belong.
Yeah, they have those.
George won't give up his password, and there's a fire going on in there, and he still won't give up his password for the door to open.
How I missed that episode.
Yeah, I don't get it. I think for me, there's certain things that I, as a photographer, look for. So my eyes are always drawn to people's pictures. So when I see people's pictures, I'm kind of giving off some secrets here, but I think everybody should know this. I mean, when you look at someone's profile picture, don't look at how they edited them themselves. Don't look at that. Look around the picture. Look to see what you see in the picture. Do you see an older Coke can? Do you see? Because helps you with dating a photo. So, like, I like to look for things around the person that's in the picture. So, a lot of times you see these pictures, people are sitting on couches, and you see if you see a Coke can or a Pepsi can that you remember was from the 80s, there's a good chance that picture was taken sometime in the 1980s, 85,
Oh,
86.
you're looking at the catfishing where they're
Right,
showing you a picture that's
right,
15 years
right,
old.
right. So
Okay.
it's for me, that's number one. I always look at people's pictures. So
They have a mullet, you
yeah,
know.
they have a mullet. Look at hairstyles, clothing that they're wearing.
Actually,
Clothing's
mullets are coming
always, yeah.
back.
Yeah, clothing is
Forgot.
always a great way to remember what era we're looking at when you see someone's picture. Certain people dress certain ways in the 80s and in the 90s and in
They dress
2000.
now, all of them dress any fucking way. You could have a greaser that's dressed like the '50s, and then you could have somebody that's dressed like
No,
the '90s,
no,
and then you
because
get
then if you
somebody that's
start going
Very
through the rest
true.
of their pictures, you start seeing, okay, wait a minute here.
I'm
Then
like,
yeah,
I live by LA. They look like
if you
everything.
go through three or four pictures and yeah, he's still dressed like that, well, maybe okay, maybe he's in the goth. That's how he dresses, and okay, whatever. But that's fine. That you. I'm just saying you can still use clothes as a way of dating someone in a picture and look around, look at the picture, look at the cars, look at a lot of people like to take pictures in cars or buy cars or sitting on cars or
Are you
uh,
getting a lot of these, Johnny?
no, this is something I do even with
Um,
Facebook profile
Uh,
pictures. And I'm just
I-
saying, this is how I look at someone sends me a friend's request. I don't go look to see how many friends they have or do we have friends in
it's like,
common.
fuck your
I,
friends.
I go looking at their pictures. That's the first thing I do. Is I go, okay, I got 5, 6, 7 pictures. And number one, is it the same person in all 5 or 6, 7 pictures? If it's not, I'm fucking leaving.
I
That
love
one
the
makes me
one where
laugh.
there's 5 people and the same 5 people are in all the fucking
Yeah,
pictures,
wait. Okay,
and it's
how
like
Yeah,
far back do I have to scroll? Now I feel
and
like
it's
a
yeah,
like,
creepo. I've gone back to
is it the one
2002.
that seems closer to
yeah,
the fucking front,
yeah,
or because he
yeah.
seems to be closer to the front in a majority, is that it? You know?
Yeah, yeah. It's
And then
tough
you
too
gotta click
because
on their uploaded pictures.
yeah. Well, sometimes too, like one of my friends, oh, well, not everybody wants to do a live back and forth chat, and I get that. I go, but he told me that's
Then
how he
don't
got caught in the
fucking date.
catfish. Yeah, that's how he got caught. Because he just like, oh, she's real shy, blah blah. No, dude. I mean, if you've been talking, I don't know, what would you say would be a long enough period of time to where, hey, it's time to see each other.
Well, no, there's different things. One of the things with catfishing, they avoid actually having a verbal conversation like an actual call. So
Right.
even before you meet someone, that part of their thing is that they solely communicate via text,
Right. I'm
and
out.
they avoid a conversation. So
Yeah.
I think that if it's within like the first week of going back and forth, a phone call needs to be made
Yeah.
within that
Yeah.
first week to hear the voice. My curiosity with that first phone call is, does he sound like a fucking chipmunk? Because you never know what somebody's gonna
Hey,
sound like. You're like,
hi.
you're like, hi,
Oh,
hi, this is Jen, and you hear
Yeah.
somebody that's like, hi, this is I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? you
Hi,
know,
I'm Mikey. I'm 12 years old.
fuck
I just
no. Or that too. You want to make sure you're not talking to a
I
kid.
like you.
You
I
know,
like you because you look like my mom.
ew, ew. Okay, Poppy. No.
Oh,
Jesus.
yeah.
But no, if the phone call needs to
But
happen, I
yeah, I
think
don't think
before the
too.
face to
Let's
face.
let's 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 fix that. Let's make sure. I don't think there's 12-year-olds trying to catfish adults out there.
Oh
That's just
Jesus, I
not
really
happening.
hope not. That's not
Yeah.
I
fair.
hope
Uh,
not, but I'm pretty sure there are teenagers out there that are
They're
fucking with
having
adults.
fun with it. Yeah, they're trying to have some fun with it, especially because of that show. I think that show really kind of
Catfished?
yeah, I think that show kind of
I
put
saw
it
some
out
of
there
those
to where
episodes.
and then this is, let's be honest, this is the generation of pranksters. Everybody wants to be a prankster. So yeah, I
Really?
mean, It's ridiculous. Well, look at TikTok. It's just full of pranks. I'm just waiting for someone. I'm waiting to. Sounds bad. This sounds terrible, but
I know what you're gonna
yeah,
say.
I'm just
Don't.
waiting to open MSN one day and just see someone that has
Prank gone
physically gotten
bad.
hurt. Yeah, a prank going really bad. That's going to cost somebody their lives. And
Well,
yeah,
that shit happens all the time, but I'm talking about the some of the
yeah,
pranks. Somebody's gonna get hurt because somebody's going to fight back,
that's what I'm talking
depending on
about. Someone gets
yeah,
killed. Yeah, and it's going to
yeah,
make the
and
news.
it's
Yeah,
not so
no,
funny when
yeah.
you get shot. You know,
Yeah.
it just
I mean, I think there's certain, I don't know. Someone was telling me,
especially right now with everything that's going on. Don't fuck with people.
if I'm 12 years old,
Living on
Just
the edge.
okay, let's use your dad for instance, Jennifer. Now, if I'm 12 years old and I see Dave in the store, Dave is the last person I am going to
like,
try to
don't fuck
fucking
with
prank.
him. He'll step on you.
Right. But these
You're
kids, I'm
7 foot
watching these
tall.
pranks, these kids are going after those guys. And I'm thinking to myself,
You're
dude,
gonna get flung across the fucking
50,
room.
50-year-old guys that are there at Home Depot, they're not there because they want to
Mhm.
be pranked. They're there because they're either working on a home project or they're actually at
Don't
work
fuck with
buying
them.
stuff for work. The last thing they need to deal with is some 12-year-old, did you touch my ass? Did you touch my ass?
So
Um,
I'm aware of men who would grab them by the back of the shirt and the
yeah,
loop and
yeah,
toss their little
yeah.
asses. Go
So
find your parents.
yeah, let's get let's get back. So what else? What else should someone be looking for when dealing with a profile and trying to avoid being catfish?
Well, I gave you the list.
I don't have the list open.
Ah, motherfucker.
You forget I'm dealing with one monitor today.
Oh,
Dina,
that's right.
I
That's
want
right.
I want to hear your personal.
Why did you wait till I
Yeah, your
put it on
person.
mute
I don't
to
want to hear
say
a list. I want to
things?
hear what you personally think
What to
it
look
needs.
for when you're being catfished? Oh my
Yeah,
God. Please look at the background of the photo. If
yeah,
it looks like it's from 1984, it's probably from
yeah.
1984.
Oh
Get
yeah, the
out.
walls. Those would
Yes.
be the
Oh
Look at the
yeah,
background.
wallpaper,
If it's
wallpaper.
if it's photoshopped like a background, if there's like animals in it,
Is there
if
still a
what kind of
rotary
outfit you're
telephone?
wearing, because that's definitely telling.
A rotary telephone in the background.
Yes, if there's a rotary telephone, if it's still corded and has one of those cords that goes to the floor and is all pretty,
Full
kind of
mirror back
like
wall.
eggs.
Remember those days? The full. Oh, you guys are young. Well, Jennifer don't. I don't know if they did that here in
That much
California.
younger than
what?
you. God.
Back
Huh?
east, they used to have like one whole wall. It was just mirrors. That was like in the
That
'70s. It was
that
just a
was a
mirror.
Oh yeah, that's
70s things,
California.
and that was a east that was a more like LA, New York,
Yeah,
It wasn't I lived in San Jose
yeah.
with
Here's
my
my mirror
parents.
story. We went. I think I told this story, but we went to wine tasting up in Napa, and we're just drinking. Wine, one, two, three wineries. And finally, I just kind of looked at my group, and I was like, "Dude, I need a beer. Let's just find a place to sit down and have a beer. I cannot drink another glass of wine. I want a beer." So we find
No,
this little bar out there in Napa. So we go in there. It's kind of like semi-dark, not very very poorly lit bar, which most of them are, right? So I come around this wall, and let's keep in mind I'm hammered. So I come around this wall and I turn to go into this room, and the whole back room is a mirror, right? So as I turn around and come down into that room, I'm like freaking tripping out. So I call out my buddy and I go, dude, check this out. This dude looks just like me. And my buddy's like, what? So they come in the room and they're like, John, that's you. And I'm like, huh?
My dad
It
would have
was
loved
hilarious.
that. My dad would have
It
never
was
let you live
fucking
that down.
hilarious.
That is ridiculous.
I
This
go, that
dude
dude
looks
looks
just
just
like
like me,
me.
man. They're just like me.
Dude, it's you. They should have
Yeah.
bam.
What else? What do you guys think? Like let's say certain times of the day that they're on or they're not on. Would that be something that you could kind of pay attention to? Like
Oh,
someone that's constantly on 24/7, maybe that's kind of a bad sign.
that's creepy.
Yeah.
That's borderline creepy.
Yeah. Because most of these have like I don't know, well back in the day I haven't been on a date site in a long time, but I remember like a lot of times used to have like the Facebook thing where they had the little green thing that would let you know that person was online. Can you imagine just like, hey, that dude's always online. Maybe he just leaves his computer on. I don't know, but yeah, I
I
don't
guess
know.
it depends on how you communicate and where
Yeah,
you are
yeah,
in the dating thing, because there's catfishing and then there's dating.
yeah.
But if you're with a newly,
Well, how
matched
about getting
person,
like it's 2 a.m. and all of a sudden, bling,
oh hell no.
That's a no. Booty call.
bling. What are you
Who
doing?
can it
I got a
be
booty call.
now?
What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you up? Are you
Who
awake?
can it be? No.
Yeah,
I
I
live
must be
dangerously.
out or I
If
yeah.
answer the
I don't know.
phone. Nowhere
my
I
to
phone, my ringer's off. When I go to bed,
yeah. Oh yeah, mine goes in. Yeah,
I will see the message in the morning, and then
yeah.
I'll be like,
Mine.
"What the fuck?"
Yeah, mine's 11 o'clock. At 11 p.m., my phone goes into whatever is private mode, and then only people that I have the numbers dedicated can come through. So my kids, that's it. What else? I mean,
Well, I got a lot of data here with regards to
go. What's holding you back?
it talks about
Share
I'm
your
being
data. Share
I'm
your data.
being polite. Okay. It says right here with, ways to protect yourself
It
from online. That was beautiful. It came from deep within, didn't it?
was deep, deep.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
wow.
All
That's
right.
what she
All
wished.
right. It's ways to protect yourself from online catfishing. It says do a background check. They
Yep.
provide services for this. It's very inexpensive. It's like between 10 and $15 for a month. Fuck yeah. Put
All
their
right.
information in it. Do a background check.
Time out. Time out.
But
Not everybody's going to do an instant background. How long would you say you should wait before you spend the 15-20 bucks to do a background check?
I think that if you are actively dating, that you should already have it.
Yeah, yeah. But you don't do it like, I like this guy, I'm going to background check him
I've
and
done that. I've done background
before you
checks on
got
people. I paid
before
like
you even
$10. Yep. The boom.
10
He
bucks.
told
She's
me a
like 10
bunch.
bucks, best 10
He
bucks I ever
he
spent.
told me
Good
he told me
investment.
about
It's
some
a good
things that he
investment.
did, and you know what? You
Yeah.
need to know about these people. I'm a female. I need to know what the fuck's going on.
Hold on. You're a female.
Yes, I got the
Oh, shit.
vagina
I
to
didn't
chew,
I never noticed.
prove it.
Wow.
But
She knows.
yeah, you've only seen a picture of me that my mother showed you as a
Wow.
baby
I'm
with
going away
no
right now.
fucking diaper.
Uh,
I hate that she showed people that fucking
yeah,
picture.
it's all right. You were a little tiny.
I was 6 months old.
yeah, that's
Not
baby.
okay. Don't
That's a
take
baby.
pictures
That's a
of your
baby. That's a
children
little
like that.
baby.
It's not okay. All right. So, all right.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you really wanted to just do it right away, yeah, I
Oh
guess. I mean,
yes,
if it's no big
I think
deal,
you
if you don't
should.
mind spending the
Stranger
extra
danger?
money. But I think like let's be logical here and just like, I mean, if it goes more than a couple weeks with someone and you feel that there may be a connection, then yeah, I mean, just extremely just I like, just seeing
I
someone's picture and going, you get the call back and you do like two or three. You're not like 5 minutes into the car going, "Oh, hold on, I gotta do a
Oh, I
background check."
yes, back again, I think we're different here because
Yeah, yeah. You're a
if
girl.
I'm
I get it.
contemplating on meeting you in
Yeah,
public and you're a
What
fucking
does that mean?
stranger, you're a
yeah.
grown person, I want to know what the fuck I'm dealing with. It whether you're male or female. The stupid thing is that you men don't think that you're gonna go ahead and meet up with a crazy bitch. And
Oh, they're
so
out there. The
and the thing
unicorn.
is that you don't the unicorn, you don't know. I mean, you may be open to be shoved into a fucking trunk by meeting
Hey, man, I
somebody.
can I can end up waking up in a bathtub with a missing kidney just as much as
Yeah,
you
or
could.
not waking up at all. So that's what I'm saying, that it's
Yeah,
important to do a
yeah.
background check on who you're fucking with
Good. All
because
right. Go
you
to
don't
number
know
two.
what they might do. All
Go to
right.
number two.
My food is coming.
Number
uh,
two.
number 2. All right. So, know the signs of being never share your personal information.
Yep.
Don't share.
Don't do
Some
it.
people don't even know where the fuck I live.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could be
Just
dating you and you would not know where the fuck I live for a
yeah.
while.
People don't need to know your social security number on.
No. No.
No.
No, 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 no. So be suspicious of those you
Hold
don't
on though.
know.
Let me ask you something. Both of you two girls. How long let's just stick with the computer. You're doing this back and forth on your computer. how long would you wait before you would share your phone number, your cell phone number? Because that seems to be now it used to be like, I'll just give you my email address, but people have gotten to the point where it's like, fuck it, here's my phone number. I could always block you.
I don't give people my phone number.
You don't give people your phone number?
No. If you can't reach me on Facebook, you're not trying hard enough.
Yeah.
Well, I have given my phone number. It's rare. Usually I just give if we're communicating through Facebook or another app, why do you need especially if that application has the ability to make calls, because many of them do, especially if it has that too. I'll be like, you know what? You want to talk to me? We can talk through the app. It's not a problem. And if we start to date and like we've gone on a couple of dates, then the phone numbers.
Yeah.
Couple. Yeah. The 4, 5, 6 months. Yeah. Maybe.
All right. Hey guys, I hate to do this to you guys, but you know what the situation is.
Go make babies.
Well, not make babies. Yeah, go
send us pictures of babies. I'm gonna go make you onesies.
All right. I hate to have to cut the show short, guys,
but the baby is arriving.
The babies are coming. The babies are coming.
Congratulations!
Wait, hold on. Not my baby.
I know this is a grandbaby.
Just so people know out there that it's not my baby.
Grandchild, new grandbaby. What's her name?
If someone was having my baby, there'd be a doctor getting sued. Let's just do that.
Johnny's like, is that a factory?
That's a different documentary. That's on Netflix.
I will sue the shit out of that fucking doctor.
Okay, what's her name? Do you know her name yet?
Sophia.
Sophia.
Yeah,
well,
Sophia.
Welcome Sophia into this world. And
yes,
give her love.
Another trunk. All right, guys. Again, thank you, everybody. I apologize for the short show. Thank you, Deana. Thank you, Jennifer.
It is what it is. Go do your thing. Babies are exciting. Yay.
Baby coming, baby. All right. We are out of here. See you guys next Friday. Thank you, Deana. Thank you, Jennifer.
Bye. I was on mute.
Does your mom know you're watching this show?